Welcome back to the channel. It is brew day. Today we are brewing one of our flagship beers. It's named after the town that we're in here in Spartanburg. So without much further ado, we're going to get the water, the strike water heated up. And we're going to mash in and get after it. Let's go. So our strike water is up to temp. I'm going to start graining in now. Okay, so it's a little noisy. I apologize. We got the Vorloff running. I've mashed for an hour, stirred a few times. So we're just running a simple Vorloff. I am cleaning out a fermenter over here, so this is a bit of a day-to-day look. And I managed to somehow drop my pH meter in the HLT, but crisis averted, everything's back on track. All right, so our Vorloff is running pretty clear. It's been about 15 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and connect everything for the sparge and we'll get going. Okay, so you can see I've adjusted our water flow, and if you look, I don't know how well you can tell, our water level has gone down significantly. We've got that grain bed pretty well settled. There's about an inch layer of water on top of the grain bed. So I'm trying to maintain just a level surface over the grain, keep the grain leveled out so that it drains evenly. And we're able to rinse all of those sugars out of there. The kettle is about half full currently. So you can see I've my flow valve coming out of the bottom of the mash tun into the kettle set. This is probably a little more than half. So we've got a decent flow rate. This seems to be working really well. I'm gonna leave it here. We'll check back in a bit. All right, I've turned our sparge water off. You can see our grain bed is pretty well settled. You can actually see a bit of the mamway starting to show. Color of the beer is drastically different. So we recorded our first runnings. That was at 1081. So I'll capture the last runnings out of here when I shut this valve off. And then I'll close this valve, and when I take everything off, I'll just take the liquid from here and measure that gravity, and that'll give me my last runnings. So we're getting pretty close to kettle volume. See, 90 is here, and we've got 95 and right at 100. So I'm trying to get just up to about 105, and that'll be our boil volume. Okay, so I got everything transferred over. We're just waiting on the boil. We're at 175 currently. So as soon as that boils, if you notice, I have the garden sprayer here too. So sometimes if you're approaching a boil over, you can hit it with some, just with cooler water and tamp down that boil to keep it from coming out. In the meantime, I have the fermenter stripped. I have everything off of it. All of that is soaking, so that'll be cleaned up. We transferred out into the bright that had a wood-aged beer in it. So I've got to grain out this mash tun. So there's a lot of things to always do. You know, occasionally you get a little downtime and you eat a sandwich or something, but now's not one of those times. So, at it. Okay, our mash tun's all cleaned out, so hopefully you saw that time lapse. So that's clean. We're just waiting on the boil. We are almost up to it. So just about there. Like I said, I got this fermenter stripped. I got to start putting that back together. We're going to run a caustic cycle on it first, and then we're going to run just a rinse water cycle after that to make sure we get in whatever's left over out. And then we're going to run our sanitation cycle, and we'll sanitize the chiller at the same time. So, nothing to do it. You can hear it. We're running a CIP on our fermenter right now. The boil is going steady. I got about 20 minutes before I need to add hops. We're grained out, cleaned out of the mash tun. We put all of our grain back on the shelves. So I write poundage, what's left in the bag, what kind of grain and what date I opened it. We put the date that we received it and then the date that I opened it. So everything right now is kind of at stasis. We're just chilling. Now is our time to have a sandwich. All right, 30-minute hop addition going in. Let that sit for 30 minutes. Then we got a whirlpool addition, and we'll get back at it. Okay, caustic cycle is done. We switched over to cold water. I have added the sanitizer. I rinsed out freshwater rinse in between. So everything was rinsed out from the caustic, and now we'll sanitize and then sanitize the chiller to go along with that. And we should be good to go, ready to transfer whenever the boil's done. Okay, so our boil is finished. We're started the whirlpool to cool it down. Once it's down around 190 degrees, I'm gonna toss in some more hops and whirlpool those. Fermenter's all cleaned up. Chiller is sanitized and ready to go. So all we got to do is just keep doing it. All right, so we're transferring into the fermenter. I've got everything coming out. We whirlpooled for about 45 minutes to try to get that hop cone developed really well at the bottom, as best you can. A little tech tip for you: if you are taking something off of a vessel that's really hot, and you need to move it over to put on another vessel, i.e. taking off the kettle, going to the chiller, grab yourself a fresh tri-clamp, one that's not being used, because when you're trying to hold that tri-clamp on, that tri-clamp could be really hot and it's really awkward to work with. So if you get yourself some like silicone gloves, or like something for welding, like a leather glove or something, and then a fresh tri-clamp, and that'll make your life a little bit easier.